Hi everyone. Please be sure to have the handout labeled More Elasticity Problems available as you listen to this recording. Now, before we attempt the first problem on this handout, it's important to highlight a distinction between income elasticity of demand and price elasticity of demand. And in your textbook, this is on page 426, in the middle of the page, there's a very important paragraph there that highlights that distinction. I'm just going to take a minute to go ahead and read that to reinforce these points. All right, and it says that income elasticity of demand refers to a horizontal shift in the demand curve in response to changes in income, whereas price elasticity of demand refers to a movement along the curve in response to price changes. Thus, income elasticity of demand is calculated at a given price, and price elasticity of demand is calculated at a given income. All right, and then looking at the first problem on the paper, which is a calculation of income elasticity of demand. All right, with this calculation, you're taking the percentage change in the amount of the good demanded, and you're dividing that by the percentage change in income. All right, and you can see I've done the calculation there for you, and you'll notice that the answer comes out to be a 0.6. All right, and we're asked from there whether good A is a normal good or an inferior good. All right, so it's important to note that the sign of the answer for income elasticity of demand is important. It does matter. So the sign of income elasticity of demand actually reveals whether a good is normal, in which case income elasticity is greater than 0 in value, or inferior, in which case income elasticity is less than 0 in value. So since we have an answer that is greater than 0, we know that good A would be a normal good. And going back to an earlier example where we were talking about peanut butter, and I mentioned that peanut butter was an inferior good. And the reason for that is that if one were to do a calculation for income elasticity of demand for peanut butter, one would find they would get a negative answer, so an answer less than 0. So therefore, that would be the clue that indeed that peanut butter would be an inferior good. All right, and then moving to the next problem, which is a price elasticity of supply problem. All right, with price elasticity of supply, we're measuring the responsiveness of the quantity supplied of the commodity to a change in its price. And with the calculation, we're looking at the percentage change in quantity supplied divided by the percentage change in price. So therefore, with this type of calculation, we're looking at the movement along the supply curve in response to price changes. All right, and you can see there that I have done the calculation for you, and you'll notice that we get an answer there of 1.25. And since the answer is greater than 1, we know that in that case that the good is indeed elastic.